Well, good afternoon and hello, colleagues. It has been another full week, and I'm delighted to offer you a few reflections. In particular, we have already had 1,000 students apply for the second round of the CARES funding. So tremendously grateful to our colleagues in financial aid who work so hard to make sure the program is able to be delivered to our students, and we're working very hard to get those funds out by October. Unfortunately, all students who applied may not be eligible because of the way that certain federal guidelines are written. So if you find out that you can't get access, please remember that the Montgomery College Foundation does have some alternative sources available, and I would encourage you to take advantage of that. Now, one of my favorite things that I did this week was to attend 2 classes and to observe what's happening in them. First, let me thank Professor Atul Roy from mathematics and Professor Emily Cole from our computer programming area. And they invited me in, and I had some really interesting observations that I wanted to share with you about what I learned in this space. One is that I'm struck by how our faculty have to provide both instruction in doing it so thoughtfully and deliberately, but also provide and manage technical assistance to the students and ensuring that they're able to deliver that. There's a dual consciousness that has to take place during that time, and I was just immensely proud of the way in which they were able to troubleshoot and also at the same time still deliver the content that was there. And I was also reminded about the glorious diversity of our students as I looked at the faces in one class. I was reminded yet again about why Montgomery County and Montgomery College is such a unique space to live in. I have to also say I was very impressed with the tools that the college supports so that faculty can deliver their instruction, whether that be a certain lab function or other things that are there in terms of Blackboard. Just very impressed with that. I was also struck by this other thing that I noticed both the faculty members doing, protecting the rituals that are necessary in the classroom. I can remember when I taught, I always started the class in a lot of the similar ways. We talked about announcements, we took attendance, we did a general check-in with students to see how they were doing. There's certain movements that became very much a part. And it wasn't just because I like to do that, is that it helped guide the students through that, how we ended class as well. So I thought how faculty are retaining those rituals of instruction in a virtual or structured remote environment is really important. And I also appreciated the faculty members' respect of students. One class, virtually all the students had no cameras showing, but they were deeply engaged. They were following the chat. They were posing questions. And the faculty member just continued to deliver her instruction. In another class, almost all the cameras were on, and in some cases, they were off, and the students were still demonstrating their engagement using the chat functions and so forth and helping out where necessary. So I think this says a lot about the recognition that for a lot of our students, the camera being on or off is something that's very important to them in terms of their own control, their recognition of what happens in the learning space. And I really want to thank those 2 faculty members for allowing me to come in and just drop in for a little bit in their classes. Looking forward to doing more of that this semester, and will certainly encourage you to send me a note and let me know, and we'll work it into the schedule as soon as we can to do that. 2 other events that are happening this week that also are on my mind as we prepare for next week. First is the Board of Trustees. They'll have their first formal meeting of this year on Monday night. So I'm looking forward to the board convening as it normally does. And then we also have our Conversation with Leadership event that's going to take place on Thursday, September 24th. I know there are a lot of questions out there about the spring schedule, parking fees, CARES Act. I keep hearing new one every time I log on to a different meeting. So please take advantage of this opportunity by posing questions that you'd like to hear, particularly around health protocols and how the college is responding. I'm eager to receive them and look forward to answering them. And if you can do that, you can send them to a particular address that you'll see on the screen, and we'll be happy to receive them. Finally, I want to thank everyone who participated in last week's celebration of my 10th anniversary. I don't know where the years went, but those of you who participated by being there, those of you who sent such lovely notes and messages to me in different formats, I'm just deeply grateful to you. I remain convinced that Montgomery College is a distinctive and unique place but it's also one that's been affirming and has allowed me to grow with and through them. And I'm just so grateful I got to share this journey with you. I thought it was real fun too that Miles got to join, and it struck me as I looked at him now at 13 and 5'11" and barreling down on me, and I can't hardly hear him because his voice is so deep, he was 3 years old when I started at Montgomery College. And children have a way of marking time and making us feel older. But I can tell you that I feel completely energized and more connected than ever to this work that we do at Montgomery College and the students and community that we serve. Thank you, and thank you for letting me be a part of this community and so intentionally try to lead it with the integrity that I believe is a part of what we should be doing as college presidents. All in all, I hope that you had a great week and that you go into the next week looking forward to some really great experiences. And in the midst of a pandemic, it is amazing to me that the college just keeps on doing what it does and does so well, serving our students with excellence and rigor, meeting the needs of our community so deeply, and more importantly, being willing to be held accountable for the things that we do. Most of all, thank you. I hope that you all have a good one. See you soon and be well.